can be like so many different images too right now. It could be. I mean, technically, it's not supposed to exist, you know.
Okay, let me see. Can I see you on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, that's what's up. Just giving my card some love and energy right now. Did it clear room before I got on here, ready to go.
So we are live. We gonna get us some groove going on. We can get some groove.
Hello.
I can confirm we're live.
1 2 1 2. What is the consciousness war with the First Lady Erika Marvelbliss, the Raising Raven and astrologer Dab? We're going to talk about a few things today, and I'm going to open up and stop. Hey guys, I'm so excited to see you tonight.
Yeah, I'm pumped.
I'm pumped too. We had a good time because we got to see Danny Henderson today.
Oh man, she's a sweetheart. Danny Henderson's awesome.
Talking about protection, and that's been the topic of the last couple of weeks, right? Is protection. And then we got to see Robert Earl White today talking about near-death experiences. So if you missed those, you need to go back and find those on the channel. So first, I'm going to introduce, since Marvelbliss is up in the top corner, tell us about yourself, what it is that you do.
Hi, my name is Marvel. I help Jermaine out on the consciousness war. You usually will see me in the background unmiking people and helping out with the spiritual side of things when it comes to understanding the information he brings out to the group. I also am a full-time mom. I'm working all the time. I'm actually getting ready to start my business. I grow my own essences, and I love my seeds. I grow my seeds and I make my medicine out of it. It's just high vibrational medicine. So yeah, that's a little about me. I also do free tarot readings, astrology. I'm getting into galactic astrology as well as the Mayan 13 moon wave spells. So if you're interested, holler at me. I'll help you out.
Wow, that's a lot of great stuff. And then we have astrologer Dab over here, my sidekick, my co-pilot for conversations with Libra and some more things, which I'm really excited because tomorrow we're going to get to talk about a lot of people's favorite topics, superheroes, and matching what superhero goes with your astrology. So
really
yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm gonna throw something at you like George Jetson tomorrow. Watch, see what happens. Man, tell us about yourself and everything that you do.
So I'm a Sagittarius, which is important to state because you know the mindset here. I became an avid researcher a few years ago, and basically woke up, and like now I'm getting my memories back in a small claim of different lives that I've lived. But I got a fascination into wanting to know about people. So I wanted to know how the psyche was, how the stars were aligned, and just the simple fact of understanding the human psyche, to understand it, to help each other at a better efficient rate. So I found out that everything is pretty much connected. And as far as the stars, the planets, and it fascinated me so much that it woke me up in another level of ascension and gave me a new passion for doing astrology. But it goes way deeper than that. When the connections are all synchronistic. So I'm really avid in reading tarot, esoteric stuff, crystals. I love crystals because crystal healings are so cleansing, and the energy is so pretty much raw when you use quartz or selenites, stuff that like actually has some tangibility, and just learning how to teach people how to ground their energies and become one with who they are, because that's the one thing is knowing yourself. So it starts with knowing what the planets in the universe have for you, and then after that it then adapts to your personalization, which then goes and connects to source and so forth. So it's I'm pretty much an all-around guy. I can't really put a label on it, which is a straight Sagittarius thing to say. But but I will say that if you ever need readings or esoteric guides, I definitely do those. And I love to empower people, because finding out stuff that you already know, but just have to be reminded, that's like my key thing there.
Okay, and then Revan Rising.
Y'all probably already know about me, but okay. I go by Jermaine Chase, which is my government name. And
Yeah.
I've been fighting what I call the conscious war for at least 4 plus years, going on 5. And the enemy don't like me. That's why they just wiped out my REVAN Rising account on Facebook. It's completely gone. I don't exist in the fucking metaverse anymore. So that's what you need to understand. And I'm a former Jedi, as I've been told, by the likes of Elena, Alex, and so many others. But it seemed to be adding up, because a lot of weird shit seemed to be happening now for me.
Right.
So,
this is weird for everybody right now. It is weird.
It is. So kind of the origin story of this crew is that this is an ensemble of people, even myself, the First Lady Erika. Hey, I do energetic jewelry. And like Stephanie, I'm into healing. I'm into theta healing. I'm still in training. I'm looking forward to my upcoming trip into Egypt to finish my full activation. So I have like wonderful things planned for myself and for humanity. But what you have here is a group of people who've come together strictly because they love the truth. They are aware, alert, awake, and they love to discuss the truth, and not just that, but disclosure type information. And the fire of this one person, Raven Rising, has led us to come together to merge our talents and just to help each other grow in our business and to help others. You have a group, Revan, called the Consciousness Wars. What is the purpose of the group?
Okay, the group, because I started this in September 21st of last year. The group is to fight the consciousness war. And people are like, well, what the hell is the consciousness war? How you fight the consciousness war? Well, you operate in the now. Because when you operate in the now, that's where time is all happening now. So that's why you had the most effect on manipulating the timeline, is when you operate in the now. So when I do it live, that's fighting the conscious war. So every time we raise awareness, teach people new things, discover things, brainstorm. And of course, brainstorm is working together, which speeds up the timeline. And so when you fight the conscious war, when you're doing it live, instead of doing video uploads, you have more effect on timeline. I've been having situation where the Schumann resonance has affected when I was live doing the 17 operation. It would be, synchronicities, like when I'm live or something. So it's like the live is quantumly entangled into the change and growth of consciousness of the collective of humanity. Because like I said, when you fight the conscious war, you focus in the now, that's when you affect the timeline the most, So that's what y'all need to understand about that.
So dialed in with that. That's just resonates because if you are aware and one's aware, then you have effect on the timeline instantaneously. We are all some of us are master manifestors and don't really know who we really are, and things just happen. Maybe you might be a manifestor of luck or prosperity, but the energy from these fourth density openings, I would say, the unveilings, we're not totally in fourth density yet, but we're there pretty much, is completely different than what we've ever experienced. So this is going to be a time of just self-healing and then learning how to help everybody else after you heal yourself.
Right. So basically, to my understanding, the whole process of what we're trying to help promote is our ability to ascend, which doesn't mean we're going to be flying necessarily or anything like that, because it sounds like ascend, right? Is ascend, actually raising your consciousness, raising your awareness, raising your ability, especially when it comes to helping yourself. I think we've been in a really dense atmosphere where people people describe it as a prison planet. But even if you took away the fact that it's a prison planet, the bigger prison that we have outside of us is the one inside our mind. So that's the one where if we take control of remove the prison that's in our mind, then nothing around us can stop us at that point. And so
to the universe.
Right. Now you become like the masters of the universe. You become those superheroes that you see on TV. That's where I would say what Stephanie does is very important, and what I'm training to do is very important. Even what I do with the jewelry is important, because we're trying to create more positive energy around ourselves. And like REVAN is describing, awareness leads to the ability to change. I don't know if anybody ever heard the analogy of what happens to a flea when you put a glass on top of it. If you put a glass on top of a flea, after a certain amount of time, it learns that it can only jump a certain distance. So it no longer will take those 6-foot leaps anymore. Same thing when you train an elephant. When you tie an elephant around a baby elephant, when you tie a stick around a baby elephant's leg, it learns that it can't move when that stick is there. So now you have like a 2,000-pound elephant who really can move that stick, but he doesn't do it because he's been trained that he can't go any further. And that's the kind of prison that we're currently living in. We've been indoctrinated so deeply with our, allowing people to take advantage of us and allowing people to zap our energy. And that is the first thing that I think we'd like to talk about is energy and protection, and just talking to Stephanie about what she feels is so important about energy and protection.
Yeah, so as we're moving into this new vibration, it's getting harder and harder for the negatives to disguise themselves, cloak themselves. And even in our day-to-day lives, we're confronted with sometimes negative influences of other people that they may not even be aware of. Yep. So today we're going to talk about basically what our friend Danny was talking about earlier. It's just things we can do to help clear our space, protect ourselves, and get our 12D shield fully activated so nothing can penetrate it during these times, because you'll see, there's a lot less negatives around, but there's still some that are lingering, that are being cleaned up. And we're getting a lot of attacks, either astrally in our dream time, or even we could be talking about somebody and just we could feel that energy all of a sudden coming in, that maybe that's not such a nice person. So we all can learn different techniques and just layer these different techniques together. You choose what works best for you. What works for one person may not work for the other. So it's kind of trial and error, but once you get a good cohesive layering of these things, you will be able to, walk out in the world and be untouched by any of the negatives. So yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of different things today.
Okay, so before, I'm sorry, go ahead, Deb.
I said, to piggyback on what you're saying, everything is connected. So once you start learning these things and you empower yourself, because first you have to have empowerment, you have to see change, and you have to basically get out of your own way. And in a sense, So, and getting to that stuff of empowerment, getting the stuff to change and learning about that is very, very crucial to understanding the ascension process, just how everything goes. And then once everybody's in the grievance with that, now you're in this conscious mind hive where we're all in the know, but we really don't have to. We all know, but we don't have to really have to know. It's basically like brilliant
That's what I was going to say too, because if you don't even understand ascension or feel that that is a term that resonates with you, here's the thing. You will begin to notice now that, and I'm going to use examples of what we've been just witnessing, honestly witnessing in the last week. People who have been living with or dealing with loved ones that actually practice witchcraft, and watching that person walk out of that relationship, even though they've left the relationship with that person, they're in such a funk that everyone around them is against them and is attacking them, and they're bringing that energy to you. And you're like, wait a minute, this is a simple conversation. Why is that person attacking me? Another example would be being around people, and I know you've seen it. I love, one of my favorite shows is what they do in the shadows. And the one guy is an energy vampire, or he dates an energy vampire. He's an emotional vampire, something like that. But whatever it is, it's like people that come around you and they're like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And they're like constantly complaining, or they're going to one up you on every freaking story of how freaking miserable their life is and how horrible it is. And no matter what solution you give them, they find a reason why it's never going to work and they're not going to solve this problem. And you're like, wait a minute. And so putting your energy into that person's like this bottomless pit, but you don't realize that they're having a great time and they're feeling really good. And you think that the problem is this, or that person is a nag or being negative, but it's way worse than that, because the manifestation of this is people who are around this person don't realize it. And those people are starting to physically get sick, and they're getting colds and cancer and having all kinds of headaches and their back and body aches, and actually maintaining terminal type illnesses. When you start to notice that you're sinking your energy into people like that, you got to be aware, like, wait a minute. Another side of that is you don't have to go around fixing people's problems. When people are constantly coming around you complaining, you can end that, but then you also still can enforce protection. That's just two examples that I know of.
I think hearings every day is necessary right now. And it can just be in a space where you can meditate and call on your, whatever your guides, your energy that you're going to call on. I like to call my spirit guides and the angels that protect me. And then I call the source. And I also like to do the 12D shielding, which is just a encasing of platinum white energy. It's like light energy. It's from the sun. And what's beautiful about this is that how everything's connected. And if you notice, our sun looks a little differently now. So in the last few months.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker hot. It's hot. It's hot.
It's hot. And then they're blaming the sun for everything. Another thing that people can recognize too is when you meet people, sometimes you meet people or you're already family members or you're related to them, and you have what's called trauma bonding. So that you can't actually have normal conversations with each other because you guys are bonded by trauma. So every time you talk about your trauma, where I might talk about something to Stephanie, she doesn't know me, she didn't grow up in my household, she's not going to sink in this spiral where we both just start talking about every single thing that happened in our home or all these related issues. She's going to actually throw me a raft and be like, oh, wow, that's terrible. I'm sorry you feel that way. And then bring you back out. But when it comes to trauma bonding, people who've been in the same type of situations, or they actually grew up in the same situation, they actually pull each other down and they don't actually allow each other to recover. So what is one of the first simple ways that you think, Stephanie, one of the first suggestions that you would, first techniques that you would suggest?
So first of all, is just having the awareness that it's going on in the first place, just being able to identify it and wanting to come out of it. So, and that's all a part of, it goes back to the consciousness war, just being present, being in the moment. Why am I feeling this way all of a sudden? You know, let me put the philosophy cap on and really digest what's happening here in the moment and why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling, and understand there's certain techniques, just like in the mind, that you can do to overcome these situations. You know, for every bad play, every bad tape, every negative thought you're playing, catch yourself doing that and stop yourself. Say, no, that's not me. Play 3 good tapes and replace the bad tape. Okay. And then there's also protection when it comes to the 5 senses: smell, taste, touch. You know, I want to cover everything here. So when it comes to smells and everything, we have frankincense and myrrh. Okay, these are essential oils. All right, and they're very powerful in protecting and clearing negative.
It's going out of phase. It's going out of phase there.
Essentially, I love essential oils, man.
So
you disappeared.
So this is great to have. And what I like to do as well is, you know, get my Epsom salts and make a bath. You can't even see it, but and do a bath with these. Layer these together. Layer these together, because salt is a very powerful healer. It actually neutralizes negative energy with the ions that it releases. So right here, I have a salt lamp, and I keep one next to my bed, and I have an extension cord to it, because whenever I feel something, like I feel like something's in my eye or in my head, I just put my forehead to it and I can just feel it burst off, and you know, whatever that was, it just flies off. I'm like, okay, I'm clear now, I'm good. So you can utilize these things in your bath or just around your home, because you know, when the Bible talks about you are the salt of the earth, you are the neutralizer, you are here to transmute that negative energy, and you have all these recipes and all these little tips and tricks that are going to help you do that. Now, another thing, hearing. So these are, I don't know. Okay, it is working. So these are tuning forks. All right. The lovely lady Elena, she introduced these to me. This one is actually 4,906. This is the Crystal Healer tuning fork. So this is just using sound frequency. And then we know everything around us is vibrating as sound, light, sound, even something that may seem solid, it's all vibrating. So this is great to use.
Crispy.
Oh, it's lovely.
Yes. You know, clear your field. If you have a bell, ring a bell through your house. I mean, negatives don't like this. It's great for your space, just to clear it.
Let me tell you something. When I saw that somebody Brandon's son laptop, I was in here ringing bells, like I had to sage my eyeballs. I said, Lord, what did I watch? I had to sage my eyeballs. I said, woo, Lord, I had to sage my house.
Oh, that was 2 years ago.
A few times. That was more than I could. Woo, Jesus, Lord.
They're easy to attach to people. That's why you have to cleanse your space a lot. So I do a lot of mobile cleansing with crystal healing, and I'm really avid in collecting different crystals, different rocks, different gems that give off natural properties for grounding, for clearing your chakra, for making you more creative, or making you more optimistic with your solar plex, and just activating your self-empowerment through your energy power bands that we all have. We just have to know that we have it. And if some of us, our intentions are so grand, we can manifest what we want instantaneously if we know we can do it. But if we have any doubts, or if you have any attachments and stuff that you haven't let gone, then it's going to be harder for you to manifest the things you want when you have to heal yourself first. Because remember, fourth density is all about oneness, completing yourself, and then also seeing what's behind the curtain. So it's all new energies that we haven't never experienced as humans. And then now we are learning and relearning our old natural wisdom in ourself, which is history that was been long forgot. But obviously there's indigos and rainbow children and crystal children here, waves that are getting their memories back and starting to command what they want. So this is a time, a great time to see that, because for so many years we didn't really know where we came from, but now it has that kind of appeal where it just makes sense.
Right.
It sure does. It sure does. Well, you go through your list, Stephanie. I'm sorry I interrupted you, but
you're good.
It takes me back to that laptop episode, and I said, "Oh my goodness!" Oh.
And in that moment, you were aware enough that you needed something at that time and place to clear it out. So that,
you know what's funny too? We were all in a group chat, and there was a girl whose voice was ringing through my ears. It actually made my ears hurt for 3 days, her voice. And I said, "Oh, that girl got a banshee hooked up to her." And I had to do some work to get that out of my energy, out of my, it was hurting.
Yeah, you got to be careful, man, because the airwaves, the frequency, it can mask itself. And if you have bad vibes right now on anything, it's really, really key to just trust your gut if you use discernment often. So just trust your instincts on this time. And you'll start seeing an empowering through your instincts and your ability to just command it and be. We call them affirmations. So once you speak it into existence, the frequency in the voice, it's like something that has a mind of its own and just does what it does. The universe connects the dots, but only you can unlock it when you speak it, because we are all creators and master manifestors of our realities in different aspects. That's what the human race is really, really built for.
Yes.
Right.
Now, we also have, as Erika mentioned earlier, we have sage. Okay, that's great. Sweetgrass is another one that I love to use. It's got a sweet smell to it.
Oh, wow.
And, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina, and I think, Erika, aren't you?
Yes, girl.
Raised around there?
Not born, but raised. It's crazy because we down the street from each other. It's crazy.
I know. And we're just now running into each other, but this is great to burn. It's got a sweet smell to it. It's just going to liven up the area. It's great stuff. Thank you to our indigenous brothers and sisters for that. And then we also have Paleo Santo. This is great as well. You can also find these things that are covered with what's called dragon's blood, which is a type of resin. It's like a tree. Thank you, Erika. There you go. So you can burn this, and this helps clear out your space. Now, remember, you need to leave a window open. Otherwise, if you don't, you're just gonna be circling around with the same thing. So you need to release that energy by opening up a window, letting that negative energy out, smoke it out, smoke your whole house out. And watch out for smoke detectors, because I have set off smoke detectors before. So just be aware that, there is a possibility for that to happen.
Well, Stephanie, some people think that they can do this like once a week. And what do you think the protocols are for cleansing your energy?
It's my ritual. It's my everyday ritual. I literally buy it. I buy sage by the pound. Okay, you can get it. You can get it by the pound. Okay?
You can't smoke it, Dad. You can't smoke it. Calm down. You can't smoke it.
And listen, you put the loose leaves in your abalone shell. Now, the abalone shell technique is from our indigenous brothers and sisters. And what's special about it is it's got rainbow inside. So when you're burning that sage in your abalone shell, you're also picking up those rainbow frequencies in the smoke.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
actually enhancing the smoke with the rainbow colors. So yeah, it's magic stuff, you guys. If you don't have one, I recommend getting one and just making it a part of your everyday rituals. I mean, you wake up, you open your curtains or you make your bed, go ahead and light your sage at the same time. I mean,
Open those windows.
yes, let the energy, flow through your house, releasing all that negative out
Make it a
the
routine
door.
too.
Yeah.
It takes 17 days for us to actually reprogram ourselves. So, I mean, it's kind of weird it takes 17 days, but the synchronicity of that alone. But we can reprogram ourselves easily if we put our minds to it. So make it a habit, and you form new habits within 17 days. This is what we do.
And that's
I was
17
thinking about opening the window and I'm like, oh, the raccoons are gonna come in. I gotta be careful when I open my windows for the raccoons come and see me.
All right.
True.
But yeah, that 17 days is great as well. And that will go back to the thoughts, like the thoughts you're having. Your thoughts are very powerful, okay? Since we are going into that 4D territory and we are becoming those instant manifestors, if you're running those negative tapes, you're going to need to have 3 good ones to back that bad one out of you. Basically, reprogram yourself. And then, like Dab said, it takes 17 days. So if you're just being aware that you're having thoughts about this, that, or the other that you really know you need to address and get out of your energy field altogether, that's how you're going to reprogram that, just becoming aware of it. So yeah, and I also have my drum here. This is another thing I like to break up the bad energy with.
Get that thing for us, girl. Let me hear what that sound like.
Yeah, so this is my special drum here.
It's phasing out.
You must have like some noise cancellation or something.
You can't even hear it. It's too powerful, I guess.
It's too weird.
That drum out, they were like, nope. Let's
Yes, and there's also, like I said, you got bells, you have rattles and shakers that you can get, anything for the 5 senses. So smell, even like taste too. Like you can be infusing your waters with stuff. It won't hurt you if you add a drop here or a drop there of something, but you can use cleansing, like I use it's called sorry, it's escaping me now for some reason.
5 thieves? Is it the thieves?
I think so. And then there's also this bark. It's basically a cleanser. And I also use dandelion root too. So that's just another thing, because we also need to be cleansing internally as well as externally, because we do pick up parasites from food. I know we don't want to talk about it, but that piece of bacon you eat sometimes comes with a little visitor attached to it. So it's good to clean inside and outside of you as well. It's all a part of that spiritual hygiene, and really layering it to all work together and really uplift you and amplify you to the highest you can be.
That internal, I like to use zeolite, but then I also have diatomaceous earth as well. So zeolite and diatomaceous earth, chaparral root, holy basil, stuff like that. But see, you can look this stuff up. But the great thing about it is you can get salt from the dollar store. You can get bay leaves from the dollar store. You don't have to get all expensive, and you don't have to necessarily buy a bunch of crystals. If you can, it's fun, because as ladies and gentlemen, we like to have pretty things, right? But don't put yourself on this hero's journey where it's like, I can't be protected unless I have this, and I can't do this unless I have that. It's really not that simple. It could be as simple as writing down the things that are bothering you or people that you need to move out of your life. things that you want to change. It's as simple as writing that stuff down on a piece of paper and setting it on fire. You know, things are symbolic as well. So don't
That's
feel
another
it's
thing.
not affordable.
Fire is a good transmuter too. You get, I mean, if you
Lighter,
have space
cleanser,
to
too.
do it, even with a candle,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
talking to the fire, talking to the flame, or at least all that. Fire is a great transmuter.
Visualizing something and dispersing it and watching it go is a great thing, because once you can see it disappear, a lot of people reform that in their mind, seeing it go away and manifest it instantly for themselves. So if you're a visual learner, if you have like the break of something that's been bothering you for a long time, actually put that bad energy into something and cleanse it. And once you cleanse it, so shall it be.
Right. And then another thing too, if someone's sending a spell towards you or sending, you know, someone is wishing you well, a lot of people, like it seems like you want to engage in a fight, you want to send it back. But from my understanding, we can send that up to the 7th plane or send it back to the creator and let him dissolve that, right? Send that energy into the light, which takes me to the last thing. The best thing that you can do to protect yourself when you are in the vibration of love, the high emotions of love, then you can't be in fear if you're in love. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in anger when you have love, and you cannot, you know, you can send a lot back when you send back energies of love towards people who wish you harm instead of sending them back anger. And it can remove these things from your space by remaining in that frequency. And of course, we know we got music frequency where we can play it on the channels. But yeah, just that's where those positive affirmations come in, where you can have that positive self-talk, just telling yourself those positive, I am healthy, I am happy, I'm healthy, I am healed, I am whole, I am loved, you know, and accepting the fact that you deserve love. And you can put yourself in a whole different space when you have going on.
So beautiful, man. You saying that because it resonates so well.
Just, I know, it was like I almost put you to bed right here, right? He's like, oh my God.
Erika's always good at describing things. Erika's always good at describing things.
So I think we pretty much covered hygiene. One of the other things that REVAN wanted to talk about, let me go back.
Navigating for density. Unconsciousness.
Right. So what do you mean by navigating fourth density consciousness?
Okay, let me share a screen.
Okay. We doing like that now?
Yeah, we got 13 people in the chat now.
Okay, and they are talking to you, Dab. You ain't hollered at your homies. Y'all better
get permission to share.
I'm driving right now. I see y'all though. Peace up to all y'all. You know, thank you for being here, because you're already here starting the ascension. And if you're here for a reason, and it's to start this process. So
I'm gonna go ahead too, because it's Soldier's Voice, Zoran.
What's up?
Mel Tulip, Danny Henderson gave us a little shout out. We was giving you big shout outs, girl, because we gonna drop the link for the conference, because I can't wait to see you. I can't wait to have the conference in October. So, I forgot, it's already dropped. So we're definitely going to talk about that. How excited we are, Danny. Bliss Empire. Oh my gosh. Let's see who else we got in there. Shafiq.
17 now.
That's my homegirl now. She done bought my energy healing jewelry. You know what I'm saying? She support her sister. Muhammad up in there. We see you, bro. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna shut up so that this man can talk. Okay. Nighthawk. Let me say Nighthawk. Okay. Don't miss that. All right.
Okay. Okay, how is this going? Is they seeing me at the same time that I'm sharing?
Yeah, no, actually they don't see you, they see me. So let me change it.
Oh, it's whoever who talking, yeah. So you got to pin it. Okay. Okay, since we're moving into well, we're moving deeper into fourth density consciousness. We haven't physically jumped energetically like a quantum jump, like you jump an energy level. So this be the energy level of the universe. So you think of the energy level like in the around the atom. So the energy levels of the holographic universe. So we haven't jumped to fourth density energetically, but we are consciously moving to fourth density. So moving out of third density, and this is coming from a website called Biblical Escapades. So yeah, y'all on YouTube getting a preview of what I do in the conscious world. So in third density, your spirit, your thought, your mind, thinking about things, your feelings and effort, which is actions, and then manifestation, which is like the timeline, the result of the timeline that you're going to experience. So right here it says, the intent for something to be a certain way. So when you're saying that intending something, you're using your desire. So you focusing on imagining, because also going into fourth density conscious, use your imagination is more potent now because you're being creative. Because you go up the levels, it's going more, you're becoming more of a creator god, So with your emotions, your feelings, your passion, you sit there, draw the timeline to you more. So as we shift out of third, also the laws of physics have changed. It's changed to fourth density physics. Then, as you see, as it goes to, you take away the effort, but it's not totally take away because we're in a transition. We're not totally in fourth density energetically yet. So you still got some effort that you still got to apply with your manifestation techniques. You still got to think, and also thinking logically, because you are basically building reality. So you got to think logically. So it has to make sense. So whatever you desiring in the future has to make sense. So this would be an example. So we are moving fast to step 2. So what you got to imagine is how the hell that's going to play out. How it's going to play out a day, a week, or maybe a month, because step 2 is we're going to be hanging out with Thohan. Okay. We're going to be hanging out with Myra. We're going to be hanging out with Annette. We're going to be hanging out with a lot of motherfuckers out there. So you got to understand that. So like I said, as we transition into fourth density, to sit there and how you navigate this consciousness, this new consciousness as it comes in, as we go out of the personality matrix into the soul matrix, then you understand you got new abilities available to you to sit there and manifest. So when in fourth density, when you're dreaming, so the reality just switch around. It's very fluid. So it just flip around, So in this transition phase where the physical is basically this physical consciousness of the ego is going away and we're moving into honesty, the feminine, fourth density conscious, spanning awareness, psychic abilities, and all that. And also this is related to your DNA opening up. So your strategy is to sit there. You still have to put effort in, but you got to use more of your imagination, more of your passion, like they talk about in that secret book about, feeling like it's there. So a lot of that is coming more potent because the physics of third density is changing into fourth density. So, and this is the strategy of the enemy. When you in fourth density, when you change your thinking, you change intentions. Changing intentions changes the timeline. So the enemy is out there trying to get people to change their thinking so they can manifest a negative timeline if this enemy out there convince them of this new way of thinking that is connected to agenda that is negative for humanity. So that's the strategies for navigating fourth density consciousness.
Fourth density consciousness is so brand new, man. So exciting. Just to be able to experience this and affirm things, because once you're in the know of it and you can do it, seeing it manifest will be instantaneous in this density. So it's very, very key to hone in your skills, keep your cleansing hygiene, and just stay. We used to say prayed up, but it's just keep your frequencies up and just practice vibing and meditating at that frequency for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be long, and in no time you'll start building your comfortability with your body, because our minds and our bodies are changing to more of a crystalline base structure, and our habits are changing. So we're going to be doing things in the future, eating healthier, having less waste, just being mindful of our conscious planet, and how mindful and how connected our universe really truly is to us. It's going to be beautiful, man. This is a great time to experience that. And once everybody is in the same accord, then we can then create and change our reality, just like Jermaine said. Like, our reality is what we want it to be. But even if we don't really know our reality, that's basically our reality has been kind of dysfunctional, because we didn't even know we can do this. And we basically got manipulated into manifesting fear. And that's not a trait that humanity hasn't necessarily used at all, is inserted into our train of thoughts. So just knowing you can do that and overcoming that already puts you into a fourth density consciousness.
And learn to be honest with yourself, because
Right.
density is about honesty coming in. You know, you got to be honest with yourself and be honest with each other.
Facts.
You know, a lot of people like to keep secrets from each other because they don't trust each other or they don't know each other. So I don't want to reveal myself to this person.
Right.
And this is the thing we got in the Scourge community. The enemy don't want us to get to the third level, which is family, where we support each other, have each other back. You know, gonna beat somebody's ass if they mess with one of us or something, because we got each other back. So the stages are, we become strangers, we don't trust each other. Because one thing in the Scourge community, I find this with a lot of them, they don't know how to reach out to each other. Nobody don't know how to fucking reach out to each other. They don't know how to sit there and say, how you doing? They go to these damn conferences, and then they get back, they don't reach out to the person, they don't talk to them. And this has been an epidemic in the Scourge community for years. And I discovered this back in 2018. And so when we get past the stage of stranger, then we become friends. And then we start caring about each other, you know, check on each other. And then the third stage, where the enemy don't want, you know, the AI, there you go. They don't want that. So they're going to attack your fucking timeline like a goddamn carpet bomb.
Wow.
That's right.
It's true, though. It's true. From somebody who had all their accounts wiped out. Yeah, he's telling the truth. You know, and it made me think about, like, yesterday, after, who went live yesterday? Did Danny go live yesterday?
Yeah.
So we all were on Facebook and saw that another person pretty much talked down about one of the speakers at the coming conference. And I was reading it. I was, oh my God, yeah. I cannot believe. Oh, well, no, this was about the conference. It was about, they pretty much took one of the speakers of the conference and made this whole list of why this person was bad. But at the end of it, and so Danny said, take this down, you nut job. But it was so funny. And that part was funny anyway. But the thought that someone else in the comments said, hey, there's this group and they're all sticking together. And it's like, duh, that's what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to let people, you know, come to your group. And, you know, we're all supposed to be friends. And I'm going to let the other person just, you know, smash the other person. Like, I'm not here to listen to you come talk bad about Stephanie and Dad, especially if you've never confronted the person yourself to figure out what the problem is. Because I know people, they're quick to run and say, oh, this person's compromised. Have you ever even spoken to the person before? Have you even, you know, attempted to talk to the person, and you're just talking all this crazy nonsense about what you think the person is because the person said, another person said, and it's like, dude, you don't have anything to support it.
Right. You have to have yourself and use your intuition, use your better judgment. And that goes with just experiencing it and actually trusting your instincts. And we all have that natural instinct, that feeling. A lot of us are more in tune to it. And a lot of us have never been in tuned, but have that ability to be in tuned. So that's part of these energies coming in, is being able to trust what you're feeling and going off of your discernment, because discernment is going to guide you through the tough times that we think are ahead. But it's just getting started and beautiful.
That's right. So we vouch for our the members of our community in the CW, because we support each other in the CW. That's what we calling it. That's what I'm calling it. And then the Galactic chicks, we support each other. So don't go say nothing about my girl. So, or else, we go throw some dirt in your eye, energetically, Slay.
Like, ah!
Because I already got in trouble for saying something about punching somebody in the throat. So I already got in trouble for that. And I was just talking about throat chakras, and I got in trouble on Facebook today. So I'm got kicked off for 2
yeah, by the archons on fucking
again.
Facebook. Yeah.
I'm spending like half of the year on the bottom of the timeline. So it's like
at least you're not dead in the metaverse. They wiped me out. I have no fucking history no more. No fucking history.
They're trying to erase us from a timeline. It's like John Connor getting revisited by the Terminator every day.
Oh my gosh.
And we're all John Connor, okay? All of us. It's just like, oh, get him because he's too brilliant. Because that's the thing is, once we get empowered and we discover who we really are, that's going to be the scariest thing for any negative energy, especially if we're going to 5D. That negativity, really natural negativity, won't stand. It gets polarized in fourth density. So like, it's all love once you go there. And once we realize
that, are shouting out. Galactic chicks are shouting out.
Yeah.
Robert Earl's probably really busy after that show, but that was an amazing show about that, near-death experiences. So they're talking to us in the chat, y'all. So
I'm watching. I'm watching y'all chat.
Talk back to your homies. Talk back to your
homies. Y'all share and like and subscribe to Erika channel.
Yeah, please do, man. Erika is awesome with this information. We appreciate what you're doing.
We hadn't even reached my level of PowerPoint level. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. When I start busting out the PowerPoints now, live. I said,
Erika channel about to blow up. That's what.
Yeah, we're gonna do great things. Even I get to be on Robert Earl's show soon to talk about my experience. Yeah. Pretty interesting stuff. And then I'll be talking about my cat. We had a lady in the group. She did a reading on my cat. My cat, man. My cat could tell you some stories, bro. Hey, man, like, it's exciting. I'm loving that I could be in a place. And so here we are just trying to create a safe space for us where we can be honest and tell the truth and love one another and be like brothers and sisters, frolicking. And I told Jermaine, I said, man, it's like when we're online, it's like we're all on a spaceship. We're just like transporting up there. And, it's not like you're really home. It's like we're all together in the holodeck or something. I don't know where it is. Where do you hang out at on Star Trek? Where do you get to hang out?
The holodeck.
At the holodeck? Okay. And that's where we get to replicate some food and stuff. Because I'm hungry. No, I'm playing.
We're replicating Lazy Boy.
I know we got Dab over there trying to
replicate some lightsabers.
Yeah.
The fact you can replicate it like
supply.
Shit. Walmart after that, like I'm replicating everything.
Like all the fucking colors.
Oh my god!
Go search the caves of Dagobah for the crystals or whatever the fuck you get the crystals from.
So we have some current affairs. Like we know in October the 21st to the 23rd, we got the conference coming up. And we still want Robert Earl to come. So we're hoping that everybody can just really just support Robert Earl so that he can bring the chicken. I already told him he can put him in my shed if necessary. We can make space here for him. But
we need to get Robert Earl.
I wish what we had was like a scholarship fund so everybody could just come. I really wish.
Third density, you got he knows what he wants.
Yeah, I really want that. So that chicken can play video games, man. I've seen it on video, man. It's crazy. He can play the Powerpuff Girl game.
Our animals are going in the third. So if you look at it, our animals are actually becoming more conscious, and you're finding out more about their entanglements with why they're with you. It's all synchronistic, man. This is like meant to be.
Something's going on because I got 5 squirrels on my porch every night, about 4 cats out there. I got peacocks. I wake up with 2 peacocks on my roof in the morning. I'm like, leave me some green feathers. Green feathers. I keep getting brown feathers. I said, awesome. I said color feathers, and they said brown is a color here. So anyway, I gotta be more specific, like green.
More specific, yeah.
Did we talk about that earlier?
Awesome.
Yeah, we did.
The things that we asked for, right?
Things that we asked for. You got to be specific.
So did we discuss the dark? did you feel you covered the dark side influence yet, or?
Well, prayer is something that I've left out. Prayer and intention is a big one. Setting those intention, using your voice and speaking it into the universe is another one. And layering, you know, I'm finding as we're rising in this new frequency that we really have to be more specific, more detailed in our layering of our prayers.
The instance today when it's like, yeah, I'm working and I'm protecting my energy, but we didn't ask for avoidance. Like don't allow people who are not in my frequency or people who are in a negative vibration to not even come to me as a client or a customer.
Yeah, exactly.
Only bring people that are compatible to my frequency and my energy.
Exactly.
So that was a new ask.
When you said that, I was like, oh,
yeah. Because instead, I think we do
like, oh, why didn't you think about
so that we can fight. But how about let's just avoid let them avoid us altogether. So now we don't have to fight. You know, let's avoid the whole fight thing. So
only the good vibe people are allowed.
Right. To me, that's what my whole explanation, when it was explained to me what frequency was, it's like, hey, 93.5, the channel still exists, but I'm living on 97.5. So I really don't hear what's going on 93. Not that gone, it's that my channel, I'm on a different channel, so you don't even see me. Instead, you know.
Right.
That was explained to me. So this was great. I don't know if you had any more topics to discuss. Anybody?
Current affairs.
Okay, so okay. So what else do we have on for current affairs? Because I went to chickens and things like that. So.
I mean, this is where fourth density is going, man. We're going to everything. We're exploring down to the cellular level on some stuff, all the way up to the big scale.
Oh, are you talking about mitochondria, like extra large mitochondria?
The powerhouse and stuff.
I kind of heard something about extra large mitochondria.
Powerhouse there.
It sounded like you got some extra large
ribosomes are not big.
Like, yeah. So anyway, these are our little inside jokes, y'all. And I'm not in my mom's basement. I'm actually on my own couch. But I already told y'all I was gonna say it. So anyway.
Oh shit.
And then laughing vibration too, man. Like stay in that
laughter.
Oh yeah, that's joy. That's fifth density.
Yeah, it is.
So that'll be like speeding up the timeline since we are in third density transitioning to fourth. And what Alex Carrier said, it looked like he said we're gonna be in fourth for 8 years at least or something. I don't know.
Oh wow.
He's saying by 2030 something supposed to shift something triples out. So I'm thinking that's the shift to 5D Terra. You know. So the current affairs. Okay, what we got going on?
Everything.
I've been having contact for the first time.
Oh my goodness, yes, contact.
July 21st. So that means step 2 seem to be accelerating towards step 2. We seem to be accelerating towards step 2. So what you got going on? The mainstream disclosure is talking about almost everything we wanted to talk about. Crash retrievals, alien baddies. They on the verge talking about Roswell, anti-gravity, teleportation, shield technology, warp drive. Every fucking thing is coming out. And this, what I know from in the conscious war, and what I've been doing on Metaverse, it wasn't called Metaverse then, but I was doing Metaverse for the four fucking years, is, you know, fighting the conscious war, telling people, hey, there's an alliance that showed up around 2017 that's been kicking the cabal's ass, you know? So that's what you got to understand. So the mainstream disclosure is this, oh, amazing, man, we are winning. Contact is happening, ground contact happening. ISS got amazing sightings that's been happening since the 23rd, but I traced this back to June of last year, and I don't think Elena even knew about this until that article came out when Michael Sala put that up. So we're accelerating to a step 2, which is contact. we also celebrating toward liberation, which is the master of the the enemy. So we got that going on, and we got the the things that when you follow the 17 operation coming out, I'm gonna say the alphabet agencies because this is on YouTube, and we gotta walk on age shells for the fucking archon. So
it's the golden age, golden age of enlightenment.
So all the alphabet agencies, and I mean all of them, are being exposed as an enemy of humanity. And we already been dealing with that bullshit, with that shit they try to wipe us out with. So,
right.
So current affairs, we're winning the Scourge War, we're winning the conscious war, we're winning the fucking timeline. The Darkside itself is mad. They're attacking us, but we still kicking that ass. We still
Every
taking
day.
names. You still lose. So what y'all got to say about current affairs?
Man, I feel like this is the greatest movie, horror movie, conspiracy movie, affirmation documentary, and we're living in it right now. And we are all the stars. So it's like basically we read our book going into the movie, but we haven't seen the movie yet, but we are the stars in the movie, and it's the greatest movie ever. And we get to direct it too. So this is like we everything.
We direct it, produce it, all that.
Sound guy, you want to be the sound guy? We now use sound guy. Like it's everything. It's we are the whole movie. The universe is watching, and this is a graduation that at first we thought was the end of our everything we know, but naturally it's just a beautiful awakening to what we should have known and what we can now command going forth. This is beautiful.
Empowerment. That's what's happening. And for that person talking about, oh, there's a group there where they all stick together. Yeah, because we fucking empowered, motherfucker. Ain't no weak ass motherfuckers over there. You in a conversation around warriors, ain't no conversation about slaves. Thinking about, oh, it's doom and gloom, we about to die, blah, blah, blah. No, that bullshit ain't happening.
You hit the nail on the head with that, because it is like I can barely stand many conversations. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, I can't breathe. I gotta go back to, group, and it's not like it's like cultish. I don't know why people want to use that word, but it's like when you can get positive energy from a group or from a person, where are you gonna go? Where the positivity is. I can barely, I don't know. It's like when people are talking, it's like they're talking about something and you're talking about something. It's like, but you're like this, you're missing because they don't really absorb anything that you're saying. They don't really hear you. And it's like, I see people like being on these repeated cycles where they're just talking about the same thing over and over and over again. And that's all it's really hard.
You got to know that you can beat it. Get off that hamster wheel and break the cycle. Don't run yourself to the same horror over and over again. What they say, everybody usually says this when they hit the proverbial wall. The definition of insanity is doing it over and over again and expecting a different result. So it's like, are we tired of just running into the brick wall? We can just go around it this time. We can go over it. We can destroy the wall if we wanted to.
And the thing about that, though, is when people are looking at you, they're like, man, you're going so fast. And you're like, yeah, why are you going so slow?
Gotta catch up to the flow.
Man, speeding up, motherfuckers.
Right. Gotta catch up.
If you can't keep up, don't step up.
And I really can see where people are moving really, really slow, and it's like only because they're trapped by the mental traps. Now, one thing, even Jermaine, I mean, he's really good at checking you on this, because I'm going to tell you this, how much of a manifestor Jermaine is. I'm not going to give any specific examples, but if he says, go do this, right? And I'm like, well, I can do this after I do that. And yeah, it'll take time. And he's like, no, just go do it. And it's like, okay, if I go do it, it's like, what? He was right, because I was even reading about this before. Like, the only limitations I have are the limitations I put on myself. So if I say it takes time, then I've given myself the limitation, right? If I say, oh, I can only do this after, and I don't know why we have this punishment. It's like, oh, you can only have your cake after you eat your dinner. And we kind of have that mentality with everything in our life. It's like, oh, I can have the things that I want, but only after I continue to suffer, because suffering is so normal. you know, and it's freaking normal. And so even when it comes to work, like people maybe don't want to have jobs, but they don't want to start a business either. But then you don't realize, like, guess what? You don't have to work. But then there's an addiction to the pain of work, because the relief on the weekends or the fun that you have on the weekend is
Freedom.
like, I don't even know how to explain it.
Freedom.
Trauma
Right.
too.
It's like a chemical, it's like endorphin. So that endorphin that kicks in when it's the weekend, is like, yes, it's like you're addicted to having the pain work so that you can get the joy from the endorphin of the freedom on the weekend. And so you're on that cycle of the little drips of endorphins, when you could have endorphins all day, every day if you want. There you go. Said it.
Love that thing. Want it, so shall it be.
Right. You know, when I made the decision that I wasn't going to work anymore, I put in for my retirement, and people laughed at me. I know that they have to be looking at me like, how did she do it? I'm scared to even say what I did. I didn't do anything illegal, but I'm just saying that I worked at a job for less than 5 years, and I put in for retirement, and people laughed at me because I have like medical issues from the military, but I only worked at my job for 5 years and I put in for retirement. When it took so long for the retirement to go through, I've been there 5 years. I'm like, oh, it took so long, right? But when it didn't go through, I said, you know what? It doesn't matter if they retire me or not. I'm going to just write a letter and give 90 days of notice, and I'm going to get my life together, and I'm going to retire whether they do it or not. And within a week, I got a phone call that said, get out of the building because you're a liability. We should not have you here. We need you to leave. You can drop the uniforms off at another time. And I ran through there like I was on The Price is Right. Like, come on. Like, I'm out. And people were looking like, what?
I love hearing those manifestation stories, man.
And boy, that thing is real. Because I said, you know what? We got to work a real job until we can get our dream job. But, you know, we still have to just, you got to ask for the things you want. And I think because I put that out there that, hey, I'm leaving regardless, and I'm going to make a way regardless, that they were like, okay, Erika learned her lesson. Let her go now. Cut her loose, you know?
Speak it into existence and command what you want. We are manifestors. So like, if you want to have raise humanity's vibrations, speak it. And those words have a life of its own. And sound and vibration, how Stephanie says, it even correlates all together. So like everything is interconnected in this reality.
91 kilo, bro. Medical lab technician. I'm that girl. Come see me. No, I'm playing.
Man.
No, Muhammad didn't know I was in the Army. 91 kilo medical lab technician. And then I was a mobile medic where I draw blood for life insurance, where I got to, and I can talk to you about that later too, all the medical data that I pretty much collected. I collected blood during Ebola outbreak, stuff like that. So yeah, and then I observed all the hysterectomies and all the, I observed a lot of stuff. So when we talk about these things that are, you know, happening to people, I observed a lot of data. So sorry I interrupted y'all.
No, it's awesome, man. Like seeing that data is interesting because I go to thinking about like what stuff they haven't told us and like what data actually can we. Like there's a lot of data coming out. There's people being healed by light therapy and frequencies, just laying in a tanning bed of red light that it drapes.
I've seen people who swam in water in Iraq and their penises no longer work. I've seen people who have what looks like cauliflower growing underneath their face, you know, underneath their skin, just all kinds of stuff, you know. I don't even, you know.
Has anybody healed from these traumas? Have you seen anybody?
I have not seen them again. So I'm not really in touch with soldiers, but I was working in the lab at that time where you almost are certain that, you know, some people have a problem, but they don't really want a solution. And I'm not talking about the patient. I'm talking about the medical research facilities. Do they really want the solution or do they want to observe you like an experiment? So we already know where we live, you know, so let's be real about that. So when I would say current affairs or current events, I know tomorrow Dab is going to talk about these superheroes. I know on Thursday night we're going to talk contact on what we've seen on the ship, and I'm going to say on the ship, y'all, because that's just it, right? And then we have Elizabeth Noyes coming in on Friday, and we're all going to hang out with her and hear about her actual contact experience where she was actually abducted. So, that's what we got this week.
Awesome week, man. It's on fire.
Yeah. But Jermaine said, y'all girls, get them Charlie's Angels on out there. Y'all girls get this work done. Y'all girls get on out in these streets. So he got us out here working, y'all. He got us out here working, y'all.
He's silly.
I got my high heel shoes on, y'all. Got my makeup on. I'm sorry.
But we going in the right vibration, man. We vibing our own frequency.
Yeah, that's right. Right. We spreading frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can't worry about Jermaine when he go, you know what I'm saying? He sounds just like my freaking dad, man. It's just like my dad was only 5'2" too, Jermaine. So right. Yeah, right. Yeah, he freaking blows me away. So anything else?
Okay, what we got going on? Oh yeah. The James Webb telescope. So my friend Elena Denon back on March 6th told us that the James Webb going to participate in the steps of disclosure, which is disclosure and contact, which is step 2. So the James Webb been talking about it found carbon, and I think that's the TRAPPIST-1 system, but it found carbon. I think that's TRAPPIST-1 system. I don't remember, but I covered this on the live. And they found a water world, and the TRAPPIST-1 system is 7 worlds that's in the Goldilocks zone, which means Earth-like. So that could be 7 habitable worlds or 7 potential colonies for humanity. Now we all know a lot of this stuff is being orchestrated now by the Earth Alliance, and so all this is being led to full-on contact, and also the Federation, because the Earth Alliance is the Federation and the U.S. Navy, Solar Wharton, and the rest of the alliance, whatever in the secret space programs. So that's what you got to understand about that. So we're on a fast track to the secret space program disclosure and contact with the Galactic Federation of Worlds, which eventually, when enough countries get federated, we're going to join in membership in the Galactic Federation Society. So like I've been telling you since July the 21st, I've been getting contact of the first kind with orbs flying out here and in this fucking neighborhood. So if somebody tell me that, oh yeah, I don't see nothing happening, Jermaine. Okay, Elena is fake and all this shit. You on some bullshit. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. We got corroborated evidence around the world. Neptune, goddamn Antarctica with the fucking arcs. All this shit is planning out for Elena. What the hell are you talking about? You don't know the fuck you're talking about. You just need to shut the fuck up because you don't know the fuck you're talking about. She is proven legit with all this corroborating evidence. Her testimony stands out with Alex, with everybody testimony. She's unique. We are winning. She's being proven at each instant, each event that keep happening. That's what y'all got to understand. And another thing I want to say is stop thinking Elena know every fucking thing. She's just a messenger. She don't know everything. She don't know all the goddamn plans. She don't know the plans for the disclosure. She probably don't even know the date for the disclosure. And I already, in my own opinion, I think Alice is being told a lot more than Elena because he's with the Andromedan Council, which also connects to the Guardians, which means the Intergalactic Confederation. So that's what the fuck y'all need to understand with current affairs is contact can happen any fucking day now. You need to get your ass prepared. If I'm telling you ships are coming in the fucking neighborhood that I ain't seen in 2 years, you need to understand blatantly and honestly that this is happening. And if you hating on Elena, you're wrong.
I think what Jermaine was trying to say was, look up.
Yes.
Keep looking up.
Look
Keep
up, like
looking
like
up.
Elena said in that video.
Keep looking up. Keep gathering evidence if that's what you want to do.
Right.
I mean, I got plenty of work to do down here. I don't need nobody peeping through my bedroom window trying to zap me out nowhere. So I'm good. I know they're there. I feel like I've known they're there all my life. So I'm like, okay,
Hold on, y'all, be back.
I got work to do. So Dab, they already said in the chat that you was Bosley, because I was trying to figure that out. Like if Jermaine is Charlie, then you got to be Bosley.
Okay.
And the other angel, Tina is in the chat, so she's not on video. So I hope you got your money. I hope you bring back your money tonight, Tina, because I don't want you to get in trouble. You get your stuff together, girl, because I can't stop him.
Right. This is great. This is great, man. It's a great time, man. This is everybody go in synchrony, and everybody's having their own synchronistic things happening right now, which is like kind of interesting. So we're all going through different levels right now, but it's intricate and intertwined delicately in a synchronistic way.
And I'm gonna say this too. You'll see some people maybe leaving your presence, and it doesn't mean that they're garbage, and it doesn't mean that they're permanently condemned. It just means at this time they're just not resonating. You know what I'm saying? They're just not able to give love and receive love, because you can give some people as much love as you want, but if they're not going to receive it, it's pretty much useless. So here we are, we're just trying to create a safe space. So sometimes we have to let go of some of our friends, and maybe we'll see them down the road. So just don't feel like people are, no one's better than anybody else. We're just all going through things. We're going through changes, and we're trying to, improve. But if I have to help heal people when I'm constantly being damaged and attacked, it makes the person lopsided. So you have to be able to find balance in your relationships. You can't have relationships where everyone's always taken and you're always half empty and no one's trying to help you fill up. So we encourage that, in your home life, in your work life, that we have to just find that kind of balance. I don't know how much longer you wanted to go, Jermaine.
We got 23 people in the chat. Y'all can ask some questions in the chat.
Oh, wow.
I see Danny's in there, Danny Henderson, and I see a lot of people in the conscience ward.
Hey, Terry.
So y'all go.
Soldier J holding it down up in here. Y'all girls, the Galactic chicks is holding it down.
If y'all still got a presence in the metaverse, go share this on Facebook.
Share it on
and Honey Rain.
Twitter, all of them. Share them every fucking way.
Yeah, man. It's just
because they want to wipe. Well, they want to wipe me out. So they mean they want to wipe the conscience.
Everybody.
So yeah, really? Go share this shit every fucking way. But y'all go ask questions and shit. Invite people to come in. Cause now, we moving in the after discussion thing. Yeah. So yeah, y'all can ask questions, which be like this Q&A, and then we can continue the discussion.
What's up, Tara?
What up?
2 nights in a row, ships blinking. Oh, Tina.
Oh yeah.
Ships blinking 2 nights in a row, flashing 3 times and 5 times, and then zip by real quick.
That's them.
Robert Earl shared some video too for Thursday night that is pretty interesting. Dab, can you explain the importance of the mirror images real quick? Like not too, but just real quick, because we are going to discuss that.
Mirror imagery is actually fractal sacred geometry. So we are all like interconnected, beautiful mathematical light code. And basically what I discovered is I take a lot of intricate photos because, we've been seeing weird formations that we've never seen Fourth density is about uncovering and seeing the men behind the curtain, who's been really pulling the strings on this planet and what energies have came back that built this planet. So we're going to be seeing a lot of things that we probably don't have an understanding when we first see it, or it looks different. But if it looks like that and you haven't seen it before, most likely it's something. So basically taking a mirror image of your photos, you can create a sacred geometry bond, and you'll see that these beings that are in higher density are all a part of this beautiful mathematical code that we are given to in the universe. And it's just beautiful to see how you can see a complete view of a higher ascended master or being that's right in front of you, and you probably didn't even know it was there. You felt something, might have said, hey, it looks kind of cloudy today or extra cloudy today. And it's not usually cloudy there. Those gut instincts and feelings, you have to just sometimes go on that, because you'll see a lot of things are changing behind the scenes right now. It's actually pretty interesting.
Well, Danny had a really serious question. She said, how can we all be so freaking gorgeous and funny? Because we still have the heart of children. Because I swear, I'm just like a child, y'all. I'm like,
oh, man.
I can see myself on the chat. Yeah.
Because we are empowered, Danny. That's what it is. We're not out here all pessimistic, all doom and gloom.
No. I mean, we're healed.
Me and Dad ain't no beta males. You know, we like divine master. We ain't
no what? I said that.
So nice.
Dab and Jermaine are like the best two boyfriends that 5 girls could have. That's what we said.
We're the double Jermaine and Brad's angels.
Yeah, I did say that. You must have missed it in the chat. It was hilarious.
Oh man, this is awesome. And like I said,
it's good to have friends like that, you guys, too, because sometimes you try to take it all out on your spouse or your significant other, and it's like they can't be your everything. You have to have good friends and have outlets, and it's okay to have separate interests and stuff, because I see people really kind of want everything from one person, and it's like, no, it's okay. My sweetheart, he's not into any of this stuff. He goes to bed around 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm like, hey, Jermaine, it's your job now. So
you got sometimes.
Hey, Dab, do me a reading real quick. Okay. Maybe we can do that. Okay, so any more questions?
Looking.
We got 24 in the chat now.
I don't want anybody to get mad. Did you already shuffle the deck ahead of time? Because people don't like when they can't see you shuffle now. Don't start no fight up in here.
Oh no, yeah. Show your shuffle.
I'm punching everybody in the link today, boy. Virtual punches, guys, because I don't promote real life violence. This is just spiritual. No, I'm playing. They're virtual.
We're not about turning the other cheek. We aren't about turning the other cheek with the fist.
Total transparency with us. Total transparency. But all right, so like when you start your tarot cards, I like to warm mine up like a nice hot car and an ice cold blizzard. So it's already ready to go. Just preheating your car, So this is like doing that with your energy, and preheated, so it's all ready to go. I just got to do a little bit of adjusting here, and
Terry says she does mirror images. I never had heard of it before.
Fractal mirror images is so cool to see, because what it's doing is it's empowering people and showing people that the things are manifesting in this reality, this density now. So it's giving that affirmation of showing you it's there, but they're not just like in the sky and in the clouds, so to speak. They're in everything, because everything is connected.
You got to do 2 things at once. Men, I know y'all different. You do 2 things at once. You shuffling at the same time. That's the same time.
I did it twice though, but sometimes it's like
I thought you was done or not. I'm like, come on now,
there it goes. Okay, so I think it's good.
Do you like Jermaine be doing? He'd be like, what?
It's telling me you stop.
Relax.
You phased out. You phased into another diction. You phased into another diction.
Baby, I'm riding too high.
You phased into another diction.
Can't hold me back. Can't hold me back.
Slipped off his keys or something. I don't know.
It's a little clear reading here. Let's see. what question you have, Erica, for the reading, or did you want me to just do an overall?
Ooh.
What you got?
Ask people in the chat.
Ask people in the chat.
Why don't
Is
we
there
do
a question
somebody
in
on
the
the
chat?
chat?
Questions in the chat.
Attention each one.
Yeah. Anybody want a card pulled?
Yeah. Ooh, he said do a reading for Aries. That's what he said.
Aries.
Muhammad, are you going to be interviewed about your experience? Because I tried to reach you in your inbox. Are you going to come hang out with us? Conversations with a leader.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's all about the
He
spread.
did that face swap, and Jermaine got 1.5 thousand views in less than a week.
Yeah, and I can't say worth a damn. So
You're empowering a lot of people to just face swap, you know? Go ahead and do it.
Face swap.
So
I know, Tina, that helped me a lot.
that face swap is something else, though. There's people out here like perpetrating from that thing. I'm telling you that. They face swapping. Face swapping. Okay, so anyway, let's get to the reading. We can do a. I'm gonna do an overall reading. This thing does not want me. Yeah,
you fall down to the earth.
Reality.
Yeah, how many Mountain Dews you had? What's going on?
These archives.
Oh, what to say? You on Red Bull? Dude,
I am high on life right now. It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, now that's what they call it, Red Bull. I'm playing.
Ascension energy. You gotta say it multiple times just to get yourself ready for those frequencies. So
read for the Libra. Dab. I'm a Gemini sun and a Gemini moon. And
interesting. Gemini sun and moon.
This is somebody else though. This is Soldier. She's a Gemini sun, moon, and a Gemini Mercury. Wow.
Wow, she's okay. You have so Gemini is the communication planet, and if Gemini's in her Mercury, she's a master communicator, but she has Gemini in her sun and star, right? So then she's already a master manifester already. She's probably really good at communicating and just explaining things. I have Gemini in my moon, so I'm very in tuned and to communicating on that level. But it's hard
to organize because she leads a foundation for the veterans, and so she's definitely very focused and organized as well. Yeah.
Right here. That's awesome. All right, so let's see here. I'm gonna do a little 3-card reading. Let's see what's in the cards for you. Interesting. So first card I got, and this is just doing a reading just off of GP, so somebody might need to hear this. I have the 2 of Pentacles, right? This 2 of Pentacles shows. You can't even see it on here, can you? It's like that same color.
Stop your thing.
There you go.
Yeah, you gotta take your background off because the shit.
Okay.
You're just pulling 1 card for each, right?
Yeah. I'm just doing a 3-card reading. I'm just getting a little past, present, future type deal. Somebody, whoever needs to hear this, it just needs to hear this.
Oh, past, present, future. Okay.
It can be anybody. Most likely it's somebody in here because that's gotten me to the
okay, so it's a 3-card reading for the whole chat. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 2 of Pentacles. I'm seeing it's the balance here. Can you see me in here? Can you see me all right?
Can't see the card unless you turn the thing.
Hold it in front of your shirt. It works. If you hold it in front of your shirt.
Oh, so I hold it like this?
Yeah.
Okay. So
see it like that.
I see. Okay. So I'm holding like this. There you go. So you got the Pentacles right here, and basically this is this is one of these surefire cards you get when you can see the balance here. I gotta come up on the camera here.
We see it.
See how if I can.
We see it pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So basically, starting off in the reading, you have a synergy happening right now. You can see them balancing and grounding themselves and having this synchronistic infinity. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this here. Synchronistic infinity happening. And it's beautiful time because it usually reflects off of our energies. It's just balancing ourselves, balancing and cleansing our energy. And it's when we want something done, we ask a busy person or inspiration that we usually get, it's expanding into multiple directions for some of us because we're so focused on this ascension right now. So a lot of us haven't really homed in our energy to manifest what we want. And like, it's that time to just collect and regather because we are synchronistic. We just have to be careful not to spread ourselves too thin and multitask and do too much, okay? Because if you're doing too much and you burn yourself out with all the energies coming in, with life, with just the stresses of our jobs, with the worry of how we're gonna like, you know, survive next week, it's daunting and tasking. So we have to balance those energies and heal ourselves. This is a starting for first for everybody. Because we can then create our own infinity and be able to balance it if we can feel it and see it, but we can't do everything. I mean, we've tried to, but you know, we got to give us our me time. And some people, it might be 24 hours, sometimes it's a week, but me time needs to be addressed, and balancing it is the key thing.
I love that.
Okay, so the next one, oh gosh, man, the universe is just on fire right now. I got the devil card, but I got it reversed. And the devil's not necessarily a card, okay? This is like a rebirth, reborn kind of vibe I got. I feel like the shadow self, for a lot of us, being in our own way, is part of this tribute to this energy. But like, as far as like us coasting, we already know what's ahead of us. We know what we have to defeat. And it's up to us to create that reborn, the starting anew, rebelling against outdated systems, to then create our reality or manifest our reality the way we want it. We can't just sit back and hope that it comes. So like being in this position, we have a key task for us. And I just want to read out to you what the reverse means, because this is going to be mind blowing on this deck. But it's we all have prosperity, and to get into situations we know aren't good for our growth, right? But resisting temptation and making peace with fear is just a difficult thing to do for a lot of people, because we never actually stepped out of our comfort zone, some of us. But actually it's detaching yourself and basically getting rid of what doesn't serve you and starting this new growth is what's going to happen for a lot of people as far as this spark. And some people are going to be getting this energy now that's coming in. But this is the conscious energy right now I'm getting right now for a lot of people who are awake. It's like getting rid of the stuff that we used to do and starting this new trend, the stuff that we want to do and we want to do for ourselves. And this is a perfect representation of that card, the devil. In reverse.
That's great. That's
and it is the last card for everybody. I got a lot of this week. Hold on, you guys there? Oh wow, they took me out. They killed my phone, yo. You kill my phone.
That's the archons for you. Do I gotta say it in the chat?
See, I'm vibing too high right now.
With that lately.
Vibing too high right now. Hold on, here you go. Wow. Okay.
I heard some other people talk about the electricity. Something going on with electricity, right?
Well, I'll say when you speak a lot of things that can resonate with a lot of people, the enemy is also electric, and they have the ability to try to, distort your message, but the message is still going to get through. Okay. The last card I had, they were trying to stop this from happening here.
Hi, Danny. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Yeah. Good night, Danny.
Good night, Danny. Okay.
The CW.
We'll see you in October.
Yeah. Party
in October.
And we're gonna have a surprise for y'all too in October.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
I can't believe. Okay, so they're trying to get this to stop this information coming out. We're gonna keep moving forward. All right, so the last card I got was the 8 of Cups, and you can kind of see the person walking with the cups stacked and still defiant. And I just have this, wherever you're feeling, if you have disappointment and it's led you to the point of soul searching or coming here now, okay, or you still haven't found it, this is a time for you to basically leave behind something that doesn't serve you and to just start something new for yourself. Even if that you don't have a beginning, this is like the person has something they already completed and now they're walking away, starting something anew from it. And I just feel like a lot of people right now are in this conscious battle of soul searching and wanting to jump off the porch. But don't worry, like you're already kind of won this. You just have to know that you can win and step out your comfort zone, and you'll be able to step anew and start anew again. And it'll be more grand than you think. So shall it be. So that's a beautiful thing to know. Come into grips with your power, affirm it, correct it, heal yourself, and then let go of what doesn't serve you, to know that you can actually build something even better, bigger than what you expected. So that's just the thing to hear for today, at least. So past, present, and future, we got the balancing our energies and knowing that, like, you know, we have this power, but they're holding us back. And all these things, the multitasking, our bodies are getting worn down. The Two of Pentacles is trying to keep this energy going, but they can't keep it. And you guys see me here? Because they knocked me out again. They did it again. Yeah, see, every time I do this, yeah, my picture.
We hear you, but your picture gone. They don't want you doing that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
So yeah, it's what they do. Once you resonate in that frequency, they'll do anything to disrupt the message, but they can't disrupt the messenger, because I'm gonna keep racing. We're gonna keep going in. But also know that, okay, we are, okay, we're gonna hold this phone. We're gonna hold this. Maybe not want this to happen though.
Phenomenal.
They are pushing my
phone. No.
But it's all good, guys. It's all good. All right, so the devil card upside down, basically, just a reminder, it's basically getting rid of the old expectations, starting anew, and healing our shadow self from within. Knowing that we can empower ourselves and move forward is the key, and knowing is half the battle. I feel like I heard that from like G.I. Joe or something. But knowing is half the battle in this, because if you know, you've already won. You know what I mean? You've already won the war. So knowing that you've already won and believing it, affirming it, that's empowering it. You're beating the devil, but you're also beating the shadow self, which is part of the beauty, is healing your shadow self and balancing your ascension side. So that's part of the devil side here. And in the last card, the Eight of Cups, building something, letting go of something so you can build bigger and master what you need to master, so then you can move on to whatever gift or next project that the universe has for you. It's already standing, it's already there, but we just have to know that, you know, we can let go of it and move on to the next one. And some of us have to learn how to let go of that energy. You see how sturdy and stout this tower is of glass cups? But, you know, the person's already known they built it, and now they're letting it go and moving into another one. Some of us need to let go of certain things so we can actually open up opportunities and, I guess, be reborn again, in a sense. So you got to let go to bring in the best, or to bring in the goodness. You know what I mean? So do that, especially if you're already self-mastered and you're already on your path, baby.
Beautiful dab. Love it.
Yeah.
Thank
Why
you.
you keep falling over, but you were doing good.
Yeah, they were like, no, we ain't having these cards, but you know what I mean, guys.
That's
you know what
amazing.
Yeah, we know.
That's amazing. Remember to like and subscribe. We got a lot going on this week and a lot more information to come. We're going to grow this consciousness war to some consciousness peace.
Say something nice to
consciousness peace. Yeah.
You're awesome. You're amazing. Tell somebody you love them. Tell your family, your mother you love them. Tell your brother, your sister. Your
resonate and love and support. You got all the links down there. Support your favorite team members.
Hell yeah. It's awesome.
Like and subscribe. Send them donations. Dab and
yes, I'm trying to basically manifest this. So basically, one of my little side projects here is having people get something tangible that actually will be like a positive light code that you can always, you know, affirm, and basically making it so people see this artwork, see the beauty of sacred geometry up for close and personal. So the more people we have aware of this, the faster the timeline is going to move, because more people will be able to see it and kind of duplicate their own reality, seeing these ascended masters that are manifesting into physicality right now. Like it's insane. And if you haven't checked it out, check out the Telegram channel, because I definitely have a nice collection of different, I would say, ascended masters that are showing themselves in this reality. So it's a beautiful thing to know and to see. So check that out.
I think Dab was going to say too that we're going to manifest some team paraphernalia so we can rock that joint, especially when we all come to the conference, so we can be, pretty awesome together and supporting his business. We're trying to make sure that everyone who can come is able to come. So just donate, because we're trying to get Dab down here in Orlando and Sage.
Trying to get down there.
And, we want everybody to be able to make it.
Timeline trigger event, I think is going to
happen.
happen.
Who are in the area, because I know Soldier, she's down in Miami, so I know she's coming. I'm going to be here. I'm already here. So, I mean, we're about to rock this joint.
North Carolina. So if anybody needs to hitch a ride down to Florida, I can always stop.
Right. And Dab's contact is all in there for the readings, and you can contact Marvel for the readings as well, healings and readings. So
contact me.
let's get together and work inside this community and have a great evening, you all.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Have a good night, y'all.
Vibe high,
Bye,
stay
guys.
high, stay high, and affirm it. So shall it be.
Focus on joy.